What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, gonna be going over the trades we ended up taking on Friday, as well as my plan going into this week. So when it came to Friday, this is what we ended up looking like. So I'm pretty sure I went over this. I told you guys that we were looking just a lot, more bearish than bullish going into Friday, and told you guys that this 50 SMA ends up curling up and straightens out. Market's gonna be bearish, and we're gonna be focused only on the shorts. But even though that this chart right here, this is where we open 9:30 open, very ugly. I mean, we end up closing below the 50, got back above 50, still down, and ended up curling probably on either the 10:30, 11 o'clock candle, one of those. But even without the 30-minute chart, everything else was just very, very bearish. If we look here on the 1 hour, what do we have? I know that first candle is ugly, but we got right back above the 50. 50's curled up. Same thing with like the 2 hour. 2 hour ended up just crossing on Friday right here. This dip off open. 2 hour 50 ended up holding, and also the 4 hour 50 we ended up holding, which ended up curling up a little bit. Not the cleanest looking chart, but actually this is the wrong. I think this is supposed to be the 665s. My bad. This is supposed to be the 665s, not the 660s. But I think this chart maybe it's curling. Curled up a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but there was just the bottom line is like there was no overhead resistance here. We already broke above the daily 50 here. It's starting to cross. We're gonna see how we open up going into tomorrow, because depending on the contract, if the daily chart is crossing, that's going to cause a significant move lower in the market over the next couple days. So it's going to be very interesting to see how we open up and how tomorrow goes, because that'll probably decide where we're going next. Because we open up a little bit red and we close red, okay, probably going to be seeing a move lower. And again, it depends on the contracts we get, because the 660s, I don't know if they're crossed or not. It's probably on the verge of crossing, just like these. But yeah, that's what we looked like going into Friday. So I was looking for shorts going into the day. So your possible shorts, it's either a fib level or 0DT cross on puts. It's very simple. So when it came to the fib level now, this is what we ended up taking. So to start, I ended up taking a short here off of 67.10. I didn't take this though right off the open. I'm not taking a fib trade right off the open. I just don't like how volatile we are off of the open. So I sat out for the first 15 minutes. It's usually what I like doing. And again, we end up breaking above this fib. Doesn't really matter at the moment because I'm still favoring lower. So I'm just looking for a break and retest of that fib. That's exactly what we got. This is where I end up taking a short here. So this obviously, like I said, this candle closed above, next candle closed below. Looking for a retested level now, and we got that right on the first 5-minute candle of that new 30 minutes. So right here, 10:30, pop up into the fib. And what do we get? Perfect entry here at 67.10. I think I got a little bit better of an entry. I think I got in a little bit above the level because it was very quick. I think I got in 67.13. I believe was my fill. Let me pull the Discord, but I'm pretty sure that was my fill. But yeah, this was a textbook entry. As you guys can see, that 5-minute candle ended up marking the top there, and we just dropped lower from there. No drawdown, or no drawdown pretty much at all on this trade. And we caught a fat move out of it. So I ended up selling half at 25 points, and I sold the other half at 35 points. And I'll go over why I ended up doing that. So yeah, I ended up shorting at 67.13. My stop was 67.22 because that's like 11 points above the fib. Again, it's not to the tick. I gave it an extra half a point. So 67.22 was my stop. And yeah, got a 35-point drop, and I ended up selling it all at the 0DT50. So this is a pivot point intraday, so why not? It just doesn't make sense to continue to hold it. And if we do get the cross, okay, I'm gonna grab more short. So that was kind of the reason behind selling it all there here at the 50, right here at 10:45. End up selling it all for 35 points, and then we broke above a bit, and then we pulled back, and what do we get? A nice 0DT cross. This is another A+ setup. We had everything in our favor. 30-minute chart was shaping up nice. The 50 was curling. 1 hour charts crossed. 50 up. 2 hour chart crossed. 50 up. 4 hour chart was crossed. The 50 was a little weird on it. I don't think it was pointed up, but we were above the 50 and it was starting to cross. And then daily chart above the daily 50. So I mean, there's everything's pointing lower at this point. So I'm taking my entry right. I think what candle was 11:34. So that was on the dip. Yeah, that was during this candle right here. So on this pullback here to the 10, I got in, and what do we know again? That was an absolute bottom tick because I ended up taking this on NQ actually. So if we pull up the 1-minute chart here, I would assume that the top is somewhere like up in here, or no, it was probably up in here. Yeah. So let's see, what time was it? 11:34. So that was on one of these pop up. Yeah, right up in here. This pop up here. I am getting filled at 490. So you guys can see we had, let's see, how much drawdown we had. Like 3 points, maybe 5 points max on this trade. So we had a really good fill on this, and look what happened from there. 390 or 490 all the way to 395. So that's almost 100 points, 95 points. And I told Discord here at 11, what time was it? 11:43. This is where I was pretty much selling everything. I was out majority down in here. I had small runners left, and on this candle, I ended up closing them, which was actually a great choice because I mean we were just chopping the entire rest of the day. I probably would, I would have gotten stopped at break even anyways. Right up. Actually, I wouldn't have. Wow, I missed it by 2 ticks, but I probably would have closed it anyways at that point. It didn't really go too much lower from there. I mean, what did we get? 87 to. I mean, it went like 30 more points. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, that's what we ended up taking on Friday. Very simple. Like Friday was a day that was super clear. Those are the days you want to take advantage of. The fib short A plus, the 0DT cross A plus. I mean, like you don't get those types of trades that often, I would say, where it's super clear, where we have every single time frame pointing lower, and then we get the intraday confirmation with the fib, intraday confirmation with the cross, and that was like perfect day on Friday. That is like it just doesn't get any better than that when it came to, I know it comes to system, when it comes to trading it. So that's what we ended up doing. Going into this week, I mean, market's still bearish. Again, this daily chart is going to be the deciding factor on, if we're going to go lower or not. We're probably, I mean, if we do, open slightly red or flat, it's probably going to be the 660s for the puts, which are not crossed yet. Tomorrow is going to be pretty much the deciding factor on if we're going to get the daily cross or not. Because this is such a pivotal spot. It's pretty much going to be a massive dump or a massive rip. I mean, there's no in between because we're hovering around this daily 50, and this is pretty much the make or break area. I don't know. I'm leaning towards this crossing and dumping just because the 50's flattening out, 10's pointed up. Again, we're just going to see how we open and the possible trades for tomorrow. Again, if this 30-minute chart, which, I mean, it's going to be crossed here off of the open, could get a dip to it. So, if we get a dip to this 50, and we line up somewhere on the fib here, like if we line up with the 67.10 short again, I mean that'd be a great opportunity to take another stab at it. If we're near that 50, if we're not, maybe it'll be the 67.65 short. But that's pretty much the game plan. If we end up, gapping down a ton off of the open, okay, I'm probably gonna be looking for longs at that point. So if we end up dropping below, I mean we'd have to hit 64.40 for me to take a long, pretty much. So that will be a long time until that happens because, I mean, we already ended up breaking below this fib end of the day. So for it to be the third fib drop, it would have to be, we'd break below 1, break below 2. We'd have to hit 64.40, which, I mean, that'd be a 200-point drop. Most likely that's not going to happen. I mean, I highly doubt that would happen. So I doubt I'll be taking longs tomorrow. I'd rather take shorts. Hopefully, I hope we don't gap down too much, so then we could take advantage more so of the bear trend. And if we do open flat and we don't really get a fib trade, okay, I'm going to be looking for a 0DT cross and puts. 10 SMA reclaim on puts may also be something I'd be open to taking. But yeah, more so looking for these levels, the 67.10, 67.65 to short, going into tomorrow. So. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub, join the Discord if you want to learn. I'm out. Peace.